To another edition of Ask Michael Eline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know the law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. Oh, yeah. So, guys, I have a crazy show for you today.
I was going to say the same thing.
And as usual, I got my Force Reconnaissance Marine buddy, BZ Watchdog. This is a wild show. So, first of all, my opinion is this. The great Leviathan, they do not like people who support personal rights, individual freedoms, individual rights. And if they can find a way to take down somebody who believes that your rights come from an all-powerful creator, as opposed to some guy that's, waving some flag around, that you're the enemy. So I want to go ahead and just let BZ Watchdog kind of talk to you about what's been going on the last couple of days. Somebody that I interviewed a couple weeks ago apparently has a sordid past. And so I'm getting all these terrible emails from people saying, oh, well, somebody with a bad past, you interviewed them, and therefore you're an evil person too. So I wanted to let BZ kind of like talk to you about what he thinks about that. And, we'll go from there, and then we'll just talk about what happened to NORCAL CopWatch, because it could happen to you too. Go.
All right. Well, I mean, if anybody was going to get heat for, interviewing somebody and then later finding out that somebody had a past, well, guess what? There'd be nobody on the news network watching them. I mean, they're all guilty of interviewing someone that found out later was a bad person. Even Naven's in the room. In fact, I'm going to end up putting up his link if you guys want to watch the video. But I'll tell you right now, Naven, I did some investigation, man. You didn't put all the information up on NORCAL CopWatch, so I don't think you gave him a fair shake. I'm not going to defend the man or his past because I don't know all the details. But BZ Watchdog is actually on the hunt and investigating. Boy, do I have a show for you today. I put together a slide on this timeline, and I wanted to talk about a law that's in place and here in Texas and how it is in Michigan, because I had a buddy who was actually convicted of this before they passed the law some years ago. And I think that's what happened with NORCAL CopWatch, with just the math I've done. So, Mike, can you put up that first slide for me?
Yeah, so let me just throw this up here real quick. Boom.
Nope. Wait. Oh, okay. We're going in order. Sorry, I thought you meant my timeline one, but that's cool. we're on the old.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I don't know
here
what happened. There we go. There we go.
Boom.
Boom. Shakalaka. Hey, so I just want to let you guys know, look, I looked at the dates of the incidents where they charged him for, okay? And he was found, and he was found guilty of assault with a deadly weapon in 2005, but the so-called victim that they charged him with, they dismissed the charges. So now we all know what kind of acts are lewd acts of a minor, and I don't want to go into details because I don't want to put that on this channel. If you want to watch the video, Novice has got most of the 09 stuff put up there, but he missed the 05 stuff, which I think is very important for the timeline. On September 20th, 2005, NORCAL CopWatch was 17 years old, okay? His victim was 12 or 13 because it said it was under 14 or under. I think it actually says under 14. So I don't know if that means 14 and under, so I just figured I would shoot it by a year to be on the safe side. Now, on October 13th, 2005, NORCAL turned 18 years old. So now he is technically a legal 18-year-old adult and that's why he got his charge dismissed in California. Now, just so you guys know, there's some Romeo and Juliet law effect or laws in some states, and that's why it's down there at the bottom of the slide on why this seems like this. Now, again, the 2005 stuff, he was only convicted of assault with a deadly weapon. I don't want to assume what happened because I have my own opinions, but based on the timeline, based on the victim's age and how old he was at the time, that's the reason he got out of the charge with under 14 minor, and I'll leave it at that. And only pled no contest, actually, to the assault with a deadly weapon. So he owned up on that charge. But in 2008, it happened again. This time he was 20 years of age, and the victim was about 15 or 16 because it said under the age of 16. So I'm guessing it was either 15, 16-ish. And again, on October 13th, he had another birthday. And now he was 21, which holds more weight in the state of California when you turn that age. And on January 21st, 2009, now it's saying under 18. So she was either 16 or 17 years of age.
Wait, hold up one second. So you're telling me, based on your research, it's the same girl?
What I'm coming up with the charges and
Okay.
how they're dropped at what his age was and where he's lived his whole life, it looks like it may have been like a high school, junior high love fling that continued for 3-4 years.
All right. So the reason I'm asking these questions is because most of my viewers have no clue what Romeo and Juliet laws are or anything like that. Can you kind of help educate them, please?
Yeah. And like I said, I just wanted to go back to that.
Yeah. I got you, man.
And so, if you guys look at that slide, I was waiting for him to put it back up there. All right, there we go. So on January 21st of 2009, this time it happened again, and he was 21 years of age. And this girl was either 16 or 17 because she was under 18. He wasn't getting hit with the under 16 charge. And it looks like they keep getting caught about every 6 months during this 1.5-year time frame. Hey, I've already checked my dates, Navin. I've already looked at all this. I've already looked at all that. I think you got a wrong year on that birth date, dude. So anyways, that's how he got out of all those charges. Now he did plead guilty to a couple of the charges for the one was for under 18, and there were some other 2 charges that are basically the same charges. So this seems like a Romeo and Juliet situation to me because I actually had a friend in Michigan that was like, I think he was like 17 and the girl was like 15 or 16. And they didn't even have a Romeo and Juliet law back there. Go ahead and flip the next slide. Now, Vin, if he was, look, dude, if he was 37 years of age on 10/5 of 86, that would be 30. That would actually be 37. Yeah, you might have your date wrong. I might have just calculated wrong when I actually put that up there. But he was 17, he turned 18, dude. That's why he didn't get busted with that charge. And now in most states, the Romeo and Juliet law states that anyone between the ages of 14 and 17, leave that up, Mike. I'm reading from the screen because I don't have it in front of me. Wait for him to bring it back. Hang on. All right. So Texas Romeo and Juliet, 14 to 17 can legally participate in acts with another who is within 3 years of their age. Now, the Texas Romeo, the reason I bring this up is because it's a little different than Michigan's, and I happen to be in Texas. Texas Romeo and Juliet law, anyone between the ages of 14 and 17 can legally consent to have acts with someone 3 years of their age. This means that an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old will be able to have some consensual acts under the Texas law with being considered without it being considered a child offense. But however, in Michigan's Romeo and Juliet law, this law says that if anyone is under 16 years old and engages in any kind of act with someone 4 years older or less, it is not a crime. So some have a 3-year age difference, some have a 4 age difference. Navin, he turned 37, dude, on October 5th, 2000. Anyways, your facts is wrong. You didn't even catch the 2005 charge, bud, on your video. I'm not even gonna have this debate with you.
Wait, hold up. Stand by. So there's a discrepancy already. So here's what I want you guys to understand. Journalists and newscasters are so excited about getting a fresh story that they'll just publish anything. That's the problem with social media and guys like Zuck, is that we saw that a guy literally lost his livelihood, his ability to support the First and Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, all that stuff, because he was accused of something, or he had some charges, old charges that were levied across the internet. And this guy was so terrified, he shut down his entire channel. It looks like we have Navin coming on here going, no, you're wrong about the dates. You're wrong about the dates. Get it right. And so I just want you people to understand that, like, when people's lives are on the line, their livelihoods, their ability to feed their family, and we see like politicians who are flying to some pedophile island, that's a problem for me. It's like, the law only applies to blue collar people. What about the people that we elect to pass our laws and to make sure our children are safe? What about them? Anyways, go ahead, BZ. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man, but I'm really angry because I see a huge double standard. Go ahead, man.
Here, no. Put my notepad back up on. No.
Wait. Stand by. Wait, I got you, man.
Right here.
I got you, sir.
I don't even know if I can show real quick. Okay, look. Guys, look, I can do math. 2023, 2005 is an 18-year difference. Is that right math, Mike?
I don't know. Let me get my wife, because all I know how to do is litigate cases. I'm not a math guy. So I'll let you figure that out.
I'm going to show how Navin's like freaking math is out.
Find a woman who is in the chat.
Hey, wait, actually, do I need to get grandma with her baggies of math to help him?
Well,
out?
if it's a guy who knows math, he probably wasn't born with a unit. I'm just joking, but honestly, I don't know many guys like me who know math. So
I'm
let's
good
find
with
a
math,
female.
and my unit of measurement is great. So
I love it, man. I love it. So I'm looking in the sidebar to see if anybody knows the law here. The math law. Well, either way, just keep doing your thing, man. Keep talking, bro.
Look, I'm just putting this. I mean, look, everybody wants to bust my chops. Look at that date, 2023 to 05. Okay, that's 18 years. That man turned 37 in 2023. That would actually put him at let's see, 30.
That's what Navin said. Navin said that. Navin said that. Look. Navin said if he's 37 on 10/5/23, do the math. So do it, Marine.
37.
Do it, Marine. Give me some push-ups too.
He turned 37. Right?
I don't know. Hold on.
But if they're claiming he was 37 before he turned, I'd put him at 38. I mean, the math is the math, man. But the guy's bottom line is it says he's 37 years of age. You want to put, I mean, whether it be 1986 or not, maybe my math is off when I was counting the law that how old he was in 2005. But still, why would they drop the under 14 charge, which holds more weight than an assault with a deadly weapon charge? What I'm saying is he was turning 18. He turned 18 in 2005.
Okay, I got you. So Look,
That's
guys,
that's why they dropped the charge, man. Because I'm pretty sure that weight in California is a lot higher offense than assault with a deadly weapon that he pled no contest to.
Okay, so tell the ladies, especially women with children, what you're saying. Explain it to us.
Basically, there was somebody who met in junior high or high school, okay, who started having a little romance, boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thing. And obviously, as they get older, somebody's going to become of legal age according to the state laws where you reside. Okay.
Wait. Hold on. I'm confused because my understanding is Harvey Milk was a child molester, and Gavin Newsom made a special day. We have Harvey Milk Day in California. So is it only people who are politically connected who can get away with this? Is that what you're saying? I mean, help me understand.
Well,
help all the mothers understand, please.
Well, I'm saying if you've got money or some political power, it's getting swept under the rug. You probably won't even be able to find the records online.
For reals?
Well, I mean, look at all of our former presidents and former politicians who have been in, what's that island's name?
Epstein.
Yeah, I was trying not to say, that.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
It's a little sensitive spot with a lot of people. So especially me, I don't like to use those words. I try to censor a lot of that negative stuff. I got a lot of nieces and nephews, so I don't even want to think about that situation. But I don't have any kids. But as a father, if I did have a kid, and I'll tell you right now, I would blow a gasket if I found out my daughter was dating somebody. Period. Let alone age.
Period. Right.
Period.
Even if it was an inanimate object. As a man, that's how we roll. Yeah.
That's why you keep the double barrel. Keep that sucker just for anybody that comes around calling. But I mean, bottom line, if you look at this, man, it looks like it looks like a true case of Romeo and Juliet. Not only would I like to talk to him more about it, which we all know he's not going to want to do. I tried to look for the actual minutes and briefs.
He's gone, dude. He's terrified, bro. I kind of feel for him because unless you're an employee of the federal government, you're not allowed to have relations with children. But if you're an employee of the federal government or you went to Epstein Island, you get a pass. Well, and the political party you voted for will consider you a hero if you let those people have their way with your children, So maybe you're voting for the wrong party. Maybe. Go ahead, buddy.
I forgot to add a priest to that list too of people.
Yeah, the problem is that with the priests, they make up a very small percentage. About 80% of the child molestation cases that we have are from public male public school teachers, and the vast majority of them, unfortunately, tend to have the rainbow flag hanging on their wall behind them. So I just want all of you fathers who care about your children, and the few mothers who are left who care about your children, in my opinion, that you need to start paying attention to where you send your kids, because homeschooling is about 2 hours a day, And socialization means what BZ Watchdog's talking about. Keep on talking, BZ.
I was just looking at Brandon's Mitchell about every state has an age of consent, and that's truthful because Michigan's is basically 17. In Nevada, you can get married at 16 with parents' consent. Did y'all know that? That's why most people go to Vegas. Heck, my parents, my mom was only 16. They ended up going to Vegas and getting married because California, you had to be 18 years old.
I know in Nevada it's 16. That's the age of consent. But in California, it's 18 unless it's a male having sex with a male, a young male, because Gavin Newsom went ahead and changed the law. So if you sodomize, if you're a man and you have sex with a younger man, you're going to be pretty much excused. You don't have any problem. Kind of like Harvey Milk, you know, same kind of, the people who donate money to Gavin Newsom, you know, the same people that
Here, let
made
me
sure
respond to these guys in the comment section.
Harvey Milk got his own special day. Yeah,
Just
sorry,
let me-
buddy.
Just letting you
Go
guys
ahead.
know, I'm not condoning what he did. I'm just basically saying that based on what I found, it looks more like more of a kid having a kid relationship, whether the age is off. And you got to remember, in these smaller towns where there's a smaller pool of people being people and teenagers being teenagers and young kids being young kids, you're probably going to find more of these things because there's not that many people going to the schools or hanging out in the same places of the same ages. You know, people know people. I mean, I looked up the city. It's not a very big city where he lives. I mean, but like I said, you know, it's you know, he never got charged with a felony for it. He did. He hasn't had another charge come up at all in the last, you know, what, 15 years. So now I know all these people are saying Romeo and Juliet, but see, this is they're not looking at the other list of ages on this that he was and that this girl was. That's why he got charged for under 14 in 05. Then he got turned around in 08. He got hit with under 16. Then 6 months later, it was under 18. Well, that's that girl getting older, guys. It was probably a little secret love fling, and parents obviously probably didn't want him around his daughter. I mean, just like he was also, you know, pled no contest to assault with a deadly weapon. He's also been convicted of a commercial burglary. You know, obviously, you know, he also got hit with this pepper spray recently and got hit with another charge for having a weapon because it was after a felony because it was like pepper spray or something like that. So, I mean, the guy likes his weapons. That we know. But you know, I'm just saying, you know, you guys can't really sit here and judge a man on one piece of information that was put out without looking at all the information, looking at the briefs and knowing the details, because it may not be what you think it is. I mean, to me personally, before I rain judgment on the man, I'd like to read the briefs. I like to read the case.
Hey,
I want to know what happened.
So look, let's just cut this off really quick. The bottom line is that we know this guy's got a sordid past, right? My issue is that you dumbasses are voting for all these people who took regular.
No sound.
Hold on. You guys took the guys you're voting for, like Michael and his husband, all these guys. You guys are voting for people who took regular flights to Epstein Island. You guys are voting for people who took regular flights to Epstein Island. Yet you're going to condemn this other dude as this terrible person. And what does he do? He doesn't double down like all these other guys that you're voting for, right? He destroys his YouTube channel, which probably was making him, based on my understanding, about 4 G's a month, 5 G's a month. I mean, that's a big deal for someone who's suffering, right? To support his wife and kids or whoever he's got. And you guys are voting for the same exact people. Remember, the FBI lost all of the pinhole camera footage of all your favorite actors, including P. Diddy. It's amazing how they got the black guy, right? But above him is Metro Goldwyn Mayer and all these other guys, right? Allegedly, who went to his island. Oprah, right? Oprah, but she's black, so you can't say anything bad about her, right? Because that's racist, right? Or the whole Pizzagate thing, and the guy who spoke out against Pizzagate. It turns out that same exact guy was convicted of the same thing, child pics, right? So their buddy who worked for CNN or whoever he worked for went ahead and said, "Oh no, it's all fake, it's all lie, it's all BS." That guy right there, you're supporting him, but yet this dude who's out cop watching, trying to stand up for the First Amendment, he's a problem. That's the issue that I have, is the hypocrisy in what you guys are doing. I have a real problem with that, because I got 2 kids and I'd never lay a hand on them, but you guys need to understand that. Anyways, go ahead, bro. Keep on talking, man.
I'm just saying, and I see all the comments in there. Everyone wants to label him as a predator, and he's been convicted of this. I mean, look, bottom line is, like you said, Mike, this guy was eating, probably pretty good, making the money he was making, going out there cop watching just like the rest of us, and did he dime himself out about that whole felony charge where it allowed people to start digging? He sure did. But, look, you guys can label it however you want to label it. Look, it's your opinion. You're not even basing it off on facts. Like I said, I'm not defending the guy, but I'm also not going to be quick to judge somebody based on no facts in front of me. It's just like if you were the jury on a trial on that guy's conviction, you'd have to hear all the facts. You'd have to hear all the witnesses. You'd have to look at everything, sit and deliberate with other people to prove that it actually happened upon reasonable doubt. And a lot of you guys that are sitting here going, "Oh, it's because he's guilty." I wouldn't even want you near my jury. You guys would just instantly convict just because, oh my God, he's a criminal because he's here. It's just like,
yeah.
I think they would do the same thing to Chili if they were on his jury.
So let me throw some things at you guys, all right, just so you guys can kind of understand what's going on. So failure to deny traditional common law is an admission. So I see that Brick Jonesy, who I love Brick, man, because this guy let me bring a cop on and he's still following me, because I understand Chili's people do not like law enforcement. So when somebody like Brick says, "Man up, NorCal," respond. All right. Well, he has responded in kind of a way by not responding. So yeah, he probably is basically saying, "Yeah, I did all this shit." And in my mind, I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? Why would you even try to be a cop watcher or stand up for anything if you knew this could blow up? Right. And that's what my forced reconnaissance Marine buddy is trying to say too, is like, what's wrong with this guy? But guys, you got to understand something. Not everybody's got an IQ over 60. And people, God created all of us to stand for freedom. So if you're going to sit here and condemn
on here, he's locked up. So, it took a while to get Craig Hendry on here because he was locked up.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing at first, because we were trying to base all these videos on Chili's arrest because of his court case trial. That's how this all started.
Wait, I'm more concerned about this dude who called us seagoing bellhops, because I know for sure that unless that dude was a Marine drill instructor or a Marine, there's no way that guy was in the Army. He's trying to BS me. Did you see that comment about the seagoing bellhops? Look at this guy, Charles Shannon. "If you seagoing bellhops were in the Marines, makes me happy. I was in the Army." Trust me right now, the only place that I know of where they teach the term seagoing bellhops is Marine boot camp or an Army guy who was in 1930. What do you think, man?
I've never even heard of the statement. So that must have been right before my time.
What the hell? So when I was in boot, 88, seagoing bellhops, they make fun of us because we kind of, we got the red stripe going down the leg. They don't know that that's scarlet. That's a blood color. They don't have any clue. So they were saying, "Oh, well, the Army says we're seagoing bellhops, right?" Yeah, the seagoing bellhops because they couldn't get any chicks, but we got all the chicks, right? That's how
it was just the dress blues, man.
Armies wear the bus driver uniform, and they always have their hands in their pockets. They're always chewing gum, just walking around, dweebs, right? So anyways, let me just kind of circle back a little bit, guys. So I just want you guys to understand something, that me and my homeboy over here, Force Recon, we don't support any of the allegations that are being made against NORCAL CopWatch at all. We think it's absurd. If somebody did that around my kid, I'd be doing life in prison, because it wouldn't be self-defense. It would be premeditated, absolute murder, torture, death. Okay. I just want you to understand that I got a daughter and a son. BZ Watchdog, I guarantee you it's the same thing. So you can try to like paint us as being like terrible people. The problem I
already said if I was a parent, I would probably be in the same boat, but I'm not. So I think that's why I can kind of look at this from a non-biased situation and say, let's just look at the facts, because you've got emotions running. Everybody else who's got kids has got emotions running. Me, I want to look at the paperwork. I want to see what was actually in the briefs and what he was accused of, not just the charge because some pissed off parent didn't like him or caught him in, doing things with his daughter that his daughter obviously consented to. No.
Well, his daughter, I don't know whose daughter what. All I know is that a dude that I interviewed a couple weeks ago basically kind of outed himself online that he's been arrested and convicted of offenses with minors. All right.
No, he outed himself on an assault with a deadly weapon charge, which is that case.
But ultimately, that opened up a hatch, right, to lead to other things. And obviously, somebody who has an IQ of higher than 50, probably a frauditor community person, did the research and they found this information. And kudos to them, because I get it, because Thomas Aquinas was very clear. You have to know the law and mean to keep it well. So people aren't going to trust someone to keep the law well if they're messing with kids, especially. So I 1000% get that. And I appreciate it that, you're trying to sort of set like a flat line for people to understand what's going on. So,
well, because here's the thing, Mike, he got arrested. Everybody's like, oh yeah, he's my hero, an obstruction charge. You should have never been arrested. Like Chili, but then you got all these things. It's like this. Okay. Like when Chili talks about his past and these arrests and these things, he might be telling you one thing, but there might be a different perception of that from somewhere else that might be in paperwork that you would have to actually read to know what the facts were to be able to judge him, whether you liked him or hated him or thought he was guilty or not guilty. What I'm saying is, like King Braveheart said, man, follow the timeline, look at all the facts before you render judgment on anybody. And this was like 15 years ago plus. If we were all judged on the stupid things that we did when we were kids, I'm pretty sure that 95% of us would be in prisons right now.
So, well, okay. Well, that being said, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, if I was NORCAL CopWatch and I had a felony record or whatever, or
I would have addressed it.
No, I would have never even tried to get involved in doing cop watching or anything that's a public record. But one thing that I learned from being in the Marine Corps is that machine gunner dude that was next to me that I would count on to save me and bring me back to my family is not somebody I would ever hire to help me run my business. Think about that. So I dated this girl a long time ago, and she made this statement, and I've never forgotten it. She said, you have different friends for different purposes. And in life, you have different people for different purposes. NORCAL Cop, based upon the public records that I've seen so far, because I'm always going to have an open mind till I know 100%. And I hope that you'll remember that about me when someone comes to try to destroy your life. Honestly, all you ladies, remember what I'm telling you. I hope that you'll remember what I'm telling you. I will always give you a clean slate, regardless of the allegations, even if there's a conviction. Because here's what I want you guys to understand is that a lot of people get falsely convicted. Yep. In England, we have families trying to preserve the honor of their family members. Even 100 years later, even though they were hung for treason and they got them acquitted. And so I always think that way. I have a really hard time believing some government official who's trying to get a promotion, trying to figure out a way to get promoted, get a bigger pension, get a raise with your money. I have a real hard time believing anything they say, because I automatically assume it's contrived. Because what a great job, right? What a great job. Guaranteed pension, guaranteed pay for the rest of your life, as long as you can convince the public that you're a good person. Now, go ahead, BZ. Talk to me. Tell me about what you got to say about all this.
Well, I'm just, we've got all these, like I said, you were covering all the politicians that, and everybody, you got President Bill Clinton, who was in the White House, that got not just Monica Lewinsky, but there was that Paula Jones woman too. He cheated on his wife as president, but everybody thought it was okay. Somebody does something like this, and we don't even have all the facts, and everybody's just quick to judge them. But it's just politician, anybody with political power, money, or hell, even back the blue, the thin blue line family members. They seem to always get away with murder. Oh, Michael Kaiser. Did I say that name out loud? Was that guy next? Fraud Wrangler.
You're killing me right now, dude.
Hey, that guy killed a disabled veteran, a disabled Marine Corps veteran in 2013. Stole his PlayStation 3, and that was why he was in his home.
Wait, do we have evidence of that? Because I don't want to make a spurious allegation.
No, we don't know. It's you can find it online where he was charged and everything by the court. Got his
okay. So we have a frauditor who went ahead and made a bunch of false and spurious statements about a Marine and killed him.
No. He when he in 2013, before he became a frauditor, he was, I believe it was in Alabama, is where I found the mugshots and the criminal history I found where he got arrested.
That's crazy.
He killed a Marine veteran who was disabled in a wheelchair. The guy had come home and found Michael Kaiser in his home, where he ended up killing the man, stealing his PlayStation 3. And now I don't have facts from there, but somehow they were able to track the PlayStation 3. I don't know if it was based on the IP address of the PlayStation 3, because every electronic device has an identifying IP address.
Yeah.
Well, somehow after he was arrested, somewhere between point A and a conviction, something got thrown out or got muddied, and the case ended up getting dismissed. Now if you look at his Fraud at Wrangler channel, he's got a thin blue line flag sitting behind his head.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
His daddy is a cop, and that's how I think, I don't have it proof, that he was able to get those those sealed arrest records on Texas Gal Audit from her history of 15, 20 years ago. And they were for charges that weren't actually what you think they would be. I actually know Texas Gal. I actually know what those charges actually how they got thrown at her. I'm not going to go into her business on what she did or how she did it or what, but it's nowhere near what Fraud at Wrangler is telling everybody that she does. Making comments about how she gets $10 at a truck stop, and how she's a prostitute because she's got multiple charges and convictions of prostitution. Man, I'll tell you right now, that's not what happened with that girl. And that man, every chance he gets, runs her name through the mud. She hasn't even put out an audit because of her arrest. And this man turned around and again put her. I think he just has a hard on for her, to be honest with you.
Well, hold on. Let me just kind of throw some stuff out there, guys. So there are a lot of females who 1000% are going to go along with whatever they hear about what happened to NORCAL audits, because unfortunately that's just the way the system is. But a lot of the things that BZ is saying, that's how the guys feel. Most of the guys feel that way. So we know that there's a huge difference between how women think and men think. And that's probably the way God intended it to be. I mean, biology is biology. You're born a man, you got more testosterone. You're born a woman, you got more estrogen. So progesterone and all that stuff. So you're going to have a different opinion, a different view. Right.
And Mike, what Navin put out there on Michael Kaiser's case, I think that's what I actually read or came close to reading. If I recall, I got to go back and look at my notes, where it says it was dismissed without prejudice due to a technicality of not all elements being read at arraignment. I've heard that from a couple of different sources. I'm trying to find out for sure, but like I said, his daddy is a blue thin line guy. He's a cop somewhere in Oklahoma, and that's where Michael Kaiser now resides.
Okay, I got you. So I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that there is kind of a sexist sort of separation here. When you put aside all the government nonsense where they've tried to say that men are boys and boys are girls, but just when you look at the thousands and probably millions of years of history of humanity, women are different than men. And when you tell a woman that some dude messed with her kids or messed with a kid, it's over. You're done. It's not going to go anywhere further than that. But us guys were like, hey, but women do that all the time to try to get more child support or try to turn it around or whatever. So I just want people to understand that there's a difference. And I'm not trying to take sides because, like, in my heart, I already know I'm a good guy and my kids dig me and they know that I always look after their mom no matter what. So regardless, so I'm good with that. But I just want you guys to not, especially the females that showed up today, don't try to say that we're this or we're that or the other. What we're trying to do is we're trying to point out the hypocrisy here. You're literally voting for people and putting people in positions of power who are guilty of far worse, but it's okay for you to attack us because we're lower on the food chain. Think about that. We're lower on the food chain. So it's okay for you to attack us. Well, so we got like 2 minutes, man. We got about an hour in. Go ahead, brother.
I'm just looking at this as a perspective because I am an auditor and you are an attorney.
Yeah.
Bottom line is before you go to judge anybody, regardless of the allegations, look at all the facts first before you pass judgment. If something came out about me, some false allegation that supposedly something happened, I'm going to have to sit there and prove my innocence with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to an attorney that can't even guarantee that because there's no, something like that. I mean, unless you're caught in the act, which I think was on the report that they may have been caught. But, if you're not caught, it's a he said, she said thing without any proof. And that goes to not just this situation, but other situations such as, an assault. If there ain't any proof of it, it's a he said, she said thing. And unfortunately, false allegations can run your name through the mud or your, obviously your reputation like NORCAL CopWatch is until.
Hey, man, look, bro, you don't have to defend anything.
I'm not.
We've got hold up, people. You guys have hundreds. P. Diddy, all these scumbag pieces of garbage from The View and all these politicians, including the Obama family, who made regular trips to Epstein Island. And you're going to go ahead and attack this dude. You guys are smoking crack. You need to start waking up. You people better wake up. If you think that some scumbag politician who went into politics with less than $1,000 in their bank account and they're coming out making $20 million a year is a better person than NORCAL CopWatch, you guys are out of your freaking minds. You need to start waking up. My job is to say you better start thinking. I don't support any of the allegations about anything that NORCAL CopWatch did. Neither does my Marine Recon buddy. What we're trying to do is wake you up to the reality. The reality is you're supporting a very corrupt system that allows government officials to lose thousands of hours of pinhole footage that could be used to bankrupt somebody to make sure that you keep your pension and you keep your job if you have a job at some big cushy government position, right? That's what you're supporting. You're supporting the ability to destroy this country because you believe in all these morons at The View and all these talk shows. But the reality is that guys like me and BZ Watchdog want to wake you up to the reality is you're a hypocrite. And that's the reality. The reality is you're a freaking hypocrite.
Look what Tonto Epstein said real quick, Mike. Where's the proof?
Well, the proof is whoever you have working at the government agency decided not to lose for you. That's the proof.
No. Tonto Epstein said, and for the record, the first time Coastal was busted, which was NORCAL CopWatch, he used the weapon to get what he wanted. Well, you know what? If that was the case, they would have hit him for other than assault with a deadly weapon, and for lewd acts under four. I mean, trust me, man. Without having facts, all you're doing is put some more hoopla and gossip and rumor stuff out in the rumor mill. Bottom line is produce the document, like the court minutes, the transcripts. Am I right, Mike? Is that the only way we're really going to find out the facts, is to get the transcripts or the minutes?
No, the only way you're going to find out the facts is whoever it is, if CNN supports your guy. Because if CNN supports your guy, as Miss Braveheart had to say here, yeah, then you're good. So if you want to win, make sure that the leftist communist news media supports your guy, and then you'll be fine. But if they don't, then yeah, you're guilty, and you should have Jack Smith or whatever his name is throw you in prison, and all of your supporters should be thrown in jail, in solitary confinement with no ability to sit on the public records. Yeah, he's probably a scumbag, but that doesn't make me and BZ Watchdog scumbags for interviewing him. That's the issue that I have.
Well,
Yet,
we interviewed him based on his recent arrest and based on him being an auditor, and that's why we interviewed him. But people keep saying that we're defending him. That I'm saying he isn't. No, I'm not defending him. He all I'm saying is I'm looking at some things. I've got a buddy who was in a similar situation based on the laws that have now been passed. He wouldn't have been convicted. That's all I'm saying is, we talk about our court system. We've seen what it's done to Chili. We've seen what it's done to Craig Hendry. I'm really more about bringing the facts of the case in front of everybody. And before you make a clear day, it's just like with Chili's case. Everyone says, don't compare that. Well, you got to, because look, the man was wrongly convicted.
Wait a minute. Alex09 keeps on saying, I don't care about your politics. And she's saying, or he, whatever it is, says they are both guilty. NorCal has been convicted. If they can prove Diddy did it, he will be guilty. Yeah. What about Epstein, dude? Hey, Alex09, what about Epstein? Do you really think that our administrative agencies aren't carrying water for the far left to make sure that their people don't get convicted? Really? Are you high? Really? Go ahead, keep talking, bro. I'm just telling you.
Here's what I'm saying.
Alex09 is clearly not somebody who's educated, but keep talking.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying. I'm not comparing the actual crime. I'm comparing the legal system. We don't really know what happened with NORCAL CopWatch. Okay, so he was found guilty of a charge. We don't have all the facts in front of us. We all know that lawyers talk people into taking plea deals even when they're not guilty. Only because at trial, if they don't do a really good job of defending people, they can be found guilty. We saw that in Chili's case. We had video of Chili being innocent, but yet it never got introduced. You had a judge who already had made up her mind, a DA that wasn't even just trying to give him a slap on the wrist just to get the conviction is all she was trying to get. And now Chili's locked up for 180 days and everybody's crying and saying, oh my God, free Chili. And then you got people saying, oh my God, he deserves to be there. Now, the court system failed Chili. Regardless of the facts, Chili is now convicted. He's guilty of a crime. So does that make everybody in the room want to say, I'm not going to support Chili DeCastro because he's a convicted criminal?
Well, my thought is just like Navin's saying, Epstein and NorCal can both be pieces of crap. The problem is that Navin, based upon the comments that I'm getting, clearly votes for the very same people who took regular flights to Epstein Island. That's the problem that I have. Like, do you really have any validity?
Look at Rick Jonesy's comment. Guilty until appealed. That's correct.
Yeah. The bottom line is, I already see where this is going. All of you left-wing commies are going to try to convict us of supporting the allegations and saying that it was okay for NorCal CopWatch to be convicted, or we were okay with it. We support what he did. We're great with it. But that's not the reality. The reality is we're trying to show you guys that you're a bunch of hypocrites, that whatever popular culture tells you to go along with, you believe in. But when some flea, a tiny little guy out of nowhere monetizes a YouTube channel, and he's accused of doing it too, and he gets convicted, he's forced to plea out because he doesn't have billions of dollars to afford lawyers. That's okay. And that's a terrible person. That's the issue that I have, is that you people are so daft that you don't see through this nonsense.
Yeah, if you don't have the money and you don't have the politics, you can't make it disappear. Or being, you know, and then, you know, people like Chile who probably would have been better off making a deal with the DA for what they were trying to do instead of taking it to trial, you know. But it's a corrupt system. You know, you take a plea deal because your lawyer's in your ear telling you, if we go to this trial, you know, you have 12 juries that might swing the other way, and we don't know who we're going to get, you know?
Yeah. Just really quick, I agree with the Scape Kid. I think that Donald Trump is a hardcore leftist. I think he's more left-wing than anybody who's ever been in the presidency. He just knows how to play to his audience. So, yeah, I agree with you. Trump is a hardcore lefty, and he'll do whatever he has to do to hold on to power. How's that sound?
Wasn't he a hardcore lefty before he became a Republican so he could run?
Yeah, the only reason he went Republican is because, you know, he wanted to win. That's it. He just wanted to win. That's what I think. I mean, look, everybody, you got to understand something. Our whole system is totally corrupt. The judges get appointed based upon whoever the big corporations support. And the big corporations make sure that your politicians who vote for those judges know who they need to vote for. And they have to do political theater like, oh my God, the First Amendment is hamstringing these people who speak against genital mutilation of children. So we need to stop that. Oh, right. Because those doctors stand to make millions off Obamacare, chopping off your son's little unit. So just remember that. All you people need to wake up to reality. BZ Watchdog and I are hardcore Marines. We love women, and we understand that mothers are the ones responsible for their children. And if somebody messed with my kid, and if he had kids, if somebody messed with his kids, I'd be there, and I probably would never get out of jail, because that's how we roll. So don't think that we support the allegations or anything about what people are saying about NORCAL CopWatch. Understand, we're trying to point out that you guys are just a bunch of lying hypocrites, and you need to wake up and start supporting human beings instead of your political party. Go ahead, BZ.
They also need to be parents and know what their kids are doing.
Yeah.
You know, you got to talk to your kids and be an adult. I don't care what society's saying or doing. I mean, I'm in this area, and I'll tell you right now, the youngsters, they got no respect for their jobs, people, or themselves, or even being in a vehicle. So if they have that mentality where they don't have respect for all these things, that everything's been handed to them, they're more naive than, you know, when I went to school 25, 30 years ago. So, I mean, like I said, the youth do dumber things. They're not maturing as fast as you probably would hope they would be as parents. And like I said, you know, I'm not supporting what NORCAL CopWatch did, but I would like the facts before I hold judgment.
Well, hold up. So Tonto Epstein did the research. All right.
Okay.
He's saying he's the guy who dug up research.
No, Navin's the one where I found it. I guess this Tonto Epstein has supposedly been putting out the information for months,
right.
but no one's been taking his information and running with it, is what he's saying.
All right. So what I'd like to do, guys, is give everybody an opportunity to present their side of the story. My side of the story is I don't trust anything that the deep state or the administrative state has to say. They're 1000% controlled by multi-billion-dollar corporations. They come up with all these BS narratives like the world's going to come to an end tomorrow unless we chop down all the trees and bury them or whatever. It's just all BS. They're just coming up with nonsense. Greta Thunberg, whatever her name is, like those people, they're just full of garbage. But if you really have some real information that's going to make a difference, where we can either exonerate or convict this guy without convicting him in the press, I'd like to know more about it. And I just want everybody else out there to know, if you've ever been friends with someone who was convicted of doing bad things, if you've ever had a family member who maybe owned slaves or maybe did bad things in their life, that's not your responsibility. And if some punk in the public school system or some academic wants to tell you that you're responsible for the sins of your fathers, please let me know, because I will do everything in my power to cancel that person the same way they're trying to cancel you and your family members just because of the color of your skin. So there you go. You've heard everything you need to hear from me. If you don't have proof and evidence, if you can't prove it, then I'm going to take you down. All right, go for it, man. Talk to me.
Well, guys, next, what I'd like to do is go after Fraud at Wrangler. To be honest with you, I think he's probably the biggest hypocrite out there. He's talking bad about all of us auditors, and from a lot of the information that he's putting out is just wrong. Fraud or troll. I don't. Obviously he's got the right to free speech, and express his opinion. But from what I see, the guy puts out facts. He's not digging up, sealed records illegally and coming up with all kinds of lies and defaming, and then trying to figure out what lies he told so he can try to correct and update his stuff. Bottom line is the guy needs to go down just for lying, defamation, and doxing people. That's another thing too. He's been doxing some people. It's just like Long Island Audit. That dude, he's a good auditor. He's out there doing his thing, and Fraud at Troll, or not Fraud at Troll, but Fraud at Wrangler, talks some real bad smack about this guy, and he's probably one of our most chilled auditors that know how to set up for a lawsuit. But yeah, that fraud at Wrangler, that's the only guy I don't agree with because he doesn't go by facts. He just goes by hearsay. He comes up with all kinds of allegations and theories, almost like they're a conspiracy theory, and then he runs with it. So,
well, hold up.
I'm just wondering how long before you and I are both on his channel getting defamed for.
Hold up, Navin, I got some good news for you. Since you were born a poor black child, you're entitled to $5 million if you live in San Francisco, and I think about $500,000 if you live in California proper. So if you move to California now, you might be able to catch that $5,500,000 reparations payment that anybody, even if they weren't a descendant of a slave, as long as they can prove based on genetic testing, you should be good. You get a bunch of money.
The system sucks, and without full-on evidence, which we didn't even have all the way in Chili's court. Don't pass judgment upon somebody. That's all I'm saying, man. It's I'm sure I'm not even a religious man, and I'm sure it probably says something like that somewhere in the Bible.
Probably. You're probably right, man. Anyways, look, man, we're about an hour and 27 minutes in. I just want everybody to think. I want you to start thinking like a Marine Corps drill instructor. You better start freaking thinking. You understand me? We don't support dudes messing around with kids. All right. Our concern is that you're supporting the very same institutions, the very same government entities who have done far worse than NORCAL audits. And you're going to come on here and tell us there's something wrong with us. You people need to flush your cognitive dissonance down the toilet and stop trying to give money to the big guy. You need to start focusing on your children and your families and your Constitution and your Bill of Rights, and not people who are receiving money from drug cartels in the communist Chinese government to try and destroy you and your family based upon a false presupposition that somehow they're standing up for you and your rights. It's BS.
Hey, Mike, real quick, look at Grandmother Eat Crustable's comment up top. All you angry statists, I'm going to go cop watch, and there isn't anything you can do about it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you, man. I like her name, Crustables. Kind of reminds me of Crucible.
I thought that at first, but then I'm just thinking Crustables is like constables. Either way, they're still.
Yeah. But I think you did Crucible. We never had a Crucible when I was in it. It was
No,
just called
actually,
First Day.
I did the Crucible within the first 10 months that it was launched, and it was in
That's
third
cool.
phase. It was at the very end. That's when you got to the top of the hill of the Reaper.
Yeah.
They had like a little ceremony up there,
Yeah.
little music, handed you the
Yeah.
Eagle Globe and Anchor, and told you,
Yeah.
"Congratulations, Marine, you made it."
So let me share something with all you guys. We're going to shift gears a little bit. So when my dad was in, so my dad got drafted to be in the Army, and he begged them to switch him to the Marines somehow or another, because he said, I wanted to be the best. My dad told me this. I wanted to be the best. And I believed him. I don't think he would have lied. So, because who would volunteer to be a Marine in a freaking war situation? Because you know right away you're the first one that's going to die. So my dad volunteers to be a Marine. He goes over there, and he gets over there, and he gets over to Vietnam, and he got spit on when he came back. And now we found out years and years later that the Gulf of Tonkin was fake. It never happened. It was a false operation that Lyndon Johnson or Kennedy, whoever it was, I think it was Johnson, basically suckered us into a war. So just remember that, guys. Like everything that you see today in real time, like mRNA is safe and effective when we know it's not. You know, when my mother-in-law died, like after her second booster within a few days, and we know they tried to bury data about the shots to try to make us think that they weren't causing people to pass away. Think about all that stuff. Go ahead, man. Keep talking, bro, and I'm going to close this out.
Sorry, I was just responding to someone's comment up there. So, we could. Oh, so you know what? I'm glad. Okay, so I've been emailing Eva. I'm kind of glad she brought this up. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to put that laundry out there, so that's why I was kind of waiting for her go ahead right now, like she just hit me with. Um, she's wanting some help, Mike, with obtaining a FOIA of the entrance and lobby video of the day and time that she was there with the video that she sent me. She says with the video, proved the subcontractor security company violated her First Amendment rights when they physically restrained her for video talent in the entrance and lobby. Bring to light the Fresno IRS apparently makes a habit of violating our rights. Addressing the fact that the subcontracted security company physically sprained her right wrist during this unjust detention. It's been over a month since the incident that occurred on May 11th, 20. I think she meant to say March. And Eva's wrist is still not healed, and there are tendon damage to the point that she has 2 to 3 hard balls on the palm of her hand. Homeland Security officer showed up, didn't even tell the security guards to take the cuffs off. He showed up, asked a couple questions, and left before the ambulance got there. Anything you can do to help and any guidance you can give, well, I appreciated it. As you know, our husbands, I guess, feeling helpless and want to take revenge on these clowns. She keeps reminding, her of her daughter. They just don't want these clowns to get away with it. Now, I was trying to figure out how to share this this Dropbox video she sent me.
You're gonna have to throw it in the sidebar because I don't know of a way to do it any other way.
I meant to you. I'll email it to you. That's what I was trying to figure out how to
Okay.
use it. I think I've got it figured out. But basically, from what I was seeing, we were already talking about the filming in the IRS the other day between you and I.
Yeah.
Because that was something that we were working on, Eva. I didn't come out and say it yet. I know you keep giving me the friendly reminder. And this is probably the only time that Mike and I have to talk normally because we're constantly busy throughout the day. I did watch the video, Mike. As far as in the laws on filming with the signage I saw, that was why I sent you those links about filming in the IRS building. If you recall those statues that we were overlooking. But the security guards basically just snatched her up, which, as far as I'm concerned, I thought a security guard was to observe and report and to, obviously call the federal officials, like obviously we're called, but not not till after they put hands on, and from what I can see on the video, it wasn't like a real easy hands on.
Wait. Hold on. I got to interrupt, man. So Walter's saying, what does this have to do with cop watching? Well, if you look at all of the different anti-cop watching channels, they call them frauditor channels. They're all saying, oh, well, it appears as though most of these cop watchers are also diddlers with kids. So you kind of see what's going on. That's what it has to do. But yet they don't look at the fact that the vast majority of the congressmen that you keep voting for flew to Epstein Island, and they're all being accused of the same kind of stuff. That's what it has to do with. Your hypocrisy. You support the administrative state, with the rainbow flags, where they have your kids coming home, your son wants to wear a dress. All of a sudden, that's what you support. But we support parents. And what we're trying to say is there's some hypocrisy here, because you're saying it's okay, nothing they can, to accuse us of being exactly what we aren't. So do that. Like, subscribe, save. Make sure to subscribe to BZ Watchdog, by the way. He needs to get his views up, guys. Take care of him. This is my brother. He's a Marine. And with that being said, oorah, semper fi, and I'm out of here. Arr.